Hi there, traders. Thank you so much for joining us here at TradeDelicious. We have a special treat for you here. This is the second time we have him on. You'll know him for a variety of incredible accomplishments he's had over his career. Starting off as a military man, he transitioned into trading some 16 years ago. He is a decorated trader, mentor, entrepreneur, an amazing human being. I am honored to introduce to some and present to others the magnificent Michael Katz. Michael, how you doing, sir?
Oh, great, Aaron. Thanks so much. That was a great
Yeah, of
intro.
course. Thank you.
Yeah,
So I wanted to bring you on because you're often talked about around the firm as one of the best traders around, whether that be at the Fivers or at Tradethepool. And I'm
thanks.
very interested to hear what you've done mentally in order to keep this kind of consistency over 16 years. A lot of people start trading, very few people keep trading after a year, let alone 16.
Yeah, I mean, most traders, as I know it at least, will blow their account within 6 months, right? The first
Right.
6 months, and it takes a while until you get to that point when you actually become consistent. Reach break even point, and then start making money, and then keep on, just consistently making money. Obviously, you will have those months when you will lose money, but overall, if you summarize the year, you will be on the positive side, right? It's
Right.
it's very hard to do that, obviously, because it's a performance based field. What we do, it's like LeBron James. Every single day, every single season, gotta bring it on, right? And there are some games that he will lose and maybe not gonna be at his best. But basically, as soon as you get to that point when you feel confidence in your trading, you know what you're doing, then you will have that consistency. Then you will see a good consistency, and basically, even if you will have a bad day or a bad month, you can recover much more easily. So yeah, that's the idea. You just need to find that the good wave that you now know exactly what you're doing. You have the strategy, you have the nice risk management, your state of mind is correct, and you understand how to work yourself. Times when you're tired, you just skip the trading, right? You just had a fight with your girlfriend, you skip trading. Those kind of rules that will basically are not gonna ruin your trading. So if you're not in the 100% state of mind, you just skip the trading. And obviously, you know also how to get to that uh, state of mind to be focused on trading. So a lot of meditation, a lot of, in my case at least, just being in nature. I live in a small village, so I'm very close to nature. I grow my own vegetables, stuff like that. So that keep me grounded.
That's amazing, Michael. And when you talk about that experience, I held on to something you said there, that confidence. That's something that a lot of traders that I talk to at least struggle with, where they come into the market, they may have a winning strategy, they may have good risk management skills, but they're not pressing the buy or sell button because they lack confidence in
Yeah.
their trading. How did you end up building that in your own career as a trader?
Yeah, first of all, it's a lot of experience, right? If you you throw your ball into the basket 1,000 times, you will get that confidence because at the end, if you have the right tools, the strategy, the risk management, and you go and test it, and you go to the trading journal, right? Trader Sync, Trader View, whatever you use, or just an Excel sheet, and you see where you're good at, and you execute that in real time, it become much easier for you to execute it over and over again. So basically, you go back, you see what worked for you until today, you continue to do that, and maybe scaling with just a tiny dollar risk. You don't risk like what you want to risk. You just start small, and you build that confidence. So that's at least how it worked for me. I just tested a lot of the stuff, And as soon as I found the one that fit for me, I just started to risk just a tiny bit, just to feel, just to get the feeling of it. And once you see that it's working for you, you can increase the size and start building toward bigger profits, basically.
That's beautiful. And you also mentioned the things that you do outside of trading that help to give you some confidence as
Yeah,
well. As I understand it, you live in like a commune situation, that small village,
yeah.
and you do a lot of work in nature. How much does that play a role in your confidence in trading, in your success in trading? Do you think that you would still be successful if you didn't have that kind of piece outside of the markets?
That's a great question, by the way. I mean, in my case at least, and again, it's only my opinion, or trading is super individual. You can have a different trader that will tell you different things for him, right? Maybe you go to the gym and work out, and then go to trade, stuff like that. But in my case, at least, the connecting to nature, doing a lot of meditations, some exercising of breathing in, breathing out before trading, and generally, throughout the day, try to just be more connected and just keep out the money aspect of trading and stuff like that. That definitely balanced me and helped me along the way, 100%.
I believe it, man. I feel very much so the same. My wife during the pandemic, she bought I think it was 173 plants over the
Well,
course from oh it's great from March to November. The air quality in the house is amazing, Michael. But it really did do wonders for my performance as well. Just having to take care of these natural things, I think it plays a really big role. That's why I was curious.
yeah.
And you said several times now it's better to work on getting connected through this way. What are you trying to connect to when you go and you garden, when you go and you do these things out in nature?
I mean, just we're doing trading, and trading involves money, and Wall Street is super corrupted and manipulated. You know how things work in life. So I'm just trying to balance my head between money and everything connected to it, and just a minus and a plus. So when you connect it
Mm,
to earth, and when you connect it to what you do, like in nature, it just calms you a lot more than all the time in front of a computer trying to make the next buck. So that's the balance I'm looking for.
agreed. I hear you.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been the CEO of Tradethepool for some time now, and that's grown exponentially.
Yeah.
What are you doing with your top traders at Tradethepool in order to make sure that they keep the balance? Do you suggest that they meditate as well? If so, are there any specific exercises you use? Or
Yeah. So first of all, there are some PDFs that we wrote about how to do that, how to, just meditate a little bit, how to control yourself a bit more. And besides that, whenever we have a chance to talk about it, maybe in our Discord group or just a webinar that we're doing, we will always encourage others just to take a moment, take a moment to appreciate, take a moment to just relax. Because when we trade in Aaron real time, and we see the numbers moving through, just in front of us, sometimes it's going to be hard to just get to make a decision, right? A real time decision based on logical, right? It's mostly emotional. So if your state of mind is not very focused and not very relaxed, then you will usually end up just making bad decision, or at least based more of emotion and not on logic. So the idea is, once you're in the zone and once you're very focused and relaxed, you can actually execute better, make the right decisions based more on logic and not emotions. So it makes sense.
absolutely, like you said, trying to constantly have that plus and minus and that balance in real time Now, what do you do when you're in a trade? So you've done all of this pre-work, you've gardened, you got the zucchini, the squash, it's ready to go. You've climbed the mountain and come back down. Now you're in front of your charts and you're actually in a trade. Apple's moving up and it's moving against you. You're short. What's going through your head to keep you balanced?
Yeah. So in my case, at least today, I'm very focused and very relaxed on my trading, just because again, I guess it's experience, right? I just know that that's okay if I'm going to lose on that trade, and I feel confident that I did the right choice getting into that trade, right? So, but in most cases, you can easily just take a breather, just take a, a deep breath, calm down, let it play a little bit against you. That's okay. As long as you have your stop loss, or as long as you have mental or hard stop loss. Generally speaking, before you enter the trade, you already knew that you might lose that amount of money. So it's fine, right? You risk $100, you know that you might lose it. So either way, it's fine, even if it goes against you. But if you feel like something, trying to get a hold of you, just take a breather, breathe a little bit, and then try to make a decision. Just a big, deep breath, and that will usually do the magic.
The magic is what we're all looking for, my friend.
Yeah.
And when you talk about this process, it's so obvious that you're so at peace with everything that you're doing in terms of your trading. Was there a specific point in your career where you said, you know what, I'm 7 years in, I'm 5 years in, I have produced continuous returns, I feel confident? Was there a moment like that, or was it gradual? Do you remember anything like that?
Like becoming confidence, you mean? Like when?
Becoming confident and peaceful.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. I need to think it over just a little bit because it's been a long time. I
It
guess,
has, absolutely.
but I guess it wasn't a specific moment, but it's just a phase, right? It's not gonna, you wake up in the morning and that's it. I'm a trader. I'm a profitable trader. It's a process. So I guess it just first of all, in my, I guess, personality, I'm very calm, um, generally speaking, and very relaxed. I don't get angry or anything like that in most cases. Um, so it definitely helped me a lot. And I guess as once I saw the process, that I'm climbing. We talked about climbing before, right? You and I are both climbers, so once you see that you can reach the peak, right? You start the rope. Don't know how to actually say it in English. What is it? It's like a rope.
Lead.
A lead. Okay, thanks. So you start that, and once you know that you're gonna reach that peak, right? Then you feel okay. Even if it's hard, you feel okay because you know that you're gonna reach that moment when you finish and reach their peak. So that's the same idea, I guess. As soon as you have the confidence, as soon as you saw that you're already capable of doing that before, you're stronger you mentally and physically. If we're talking about climbing, then it becomes easier, and you just need to take that deep breath. And I do that a lot in my climbing. I just stop in the middle and just take a deep breath and then continue for the rest of it until I reach the peak. So same idea here.
I hear you. I hear you. And keeping on with the climbing analogy, we both love to climb. We both do a lot of bouldering and lead work. I know if I'm climbing a particularly tall wall, so I go to a couple gyms where they're 30 feet tall.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll start off very confident. I might want to show off for my wife a little bit, so I'll take something that's a little bit above my level, and
Right.
halfway through, I'll think, you know what, this might have been a mistake, and I look down, and then that gets my nerves going. That gets
Yeah.
that gets the heart pumping a little bit, and I feel like it's very similar with trading. What do you do in situations where you've taken on a little bit too much. I know you said you're naturally calm and you've naturally kind of developed this confidence. But for newer traders and even for traders that trade the pool, if someone's in a rough drawdown and they haven't been performing over the past few days, what do you do to kind of recenter them or yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, few things here. One, in Tradethepool, we have risk mechanism, like an automatic risk mechanism that will not let the traders blow their account. Right? There's a drawdown, there's a daily loss limit, and that's it. Once you reach that, you're out for the day, and that will automatically give will give a lot of the traders just more confidence, and basically will stop them, will tell them, okay, stop here, this is not your day, take a breather, do some analysis on your trades, right, and come back tomorrow when you're much better, right? So first of all, that's a great mechanism to have, just a daily loss, like a maximum daily loss that will automatically close your account. And we see that with a lot of our traders, once they reach that daily loss, in most cases, if they won't have that, that key that will block their account, they will easily blow their account in the same day, right? On a retail trader that will trade like this, in most cases, will blow his account or her. So that's like on a technical level, that's definitely do the job. Besides that, on the mental side of it, if you had a bad day, that's fine. But if you had like 3 days in a row, you gotta take a few days off, take those trades that you made, analyze everything that you did. Why did you enter? Why did you trade that specific stock? Why did you enter? How did you manage the trade? There is like I also share it. I share it on Tradepool Hub. Any traders of ours can download like a PDF of a playbook, right? When I show some of the trades I made during the years of my trading, and basically understand just the process of how to find the asset, why I traded that, and how I manage that, and how I also give myself feedback, positive feedback, but also how to improve. So those kind of stuff you need to do on a regular basis, but definitely when you getting into that drawdown or getting into a few days strike, So 100% just doing the technical part, and remember that if you already have some stats that show that you know what you're doing, just go back to basic and try to start from smaller chunks, smaller risk, just to build your confidence again.
That's well said, my friend. And you mentioned something I really held on to there when you talked about developing your playbook and
Mhm.
talking about feedback, both positive and negative. I understand you're a journaler. When you write your trades down in your journal, or when you use TraderSync or whatever, what kind of details are going in that journal from a mental standpoint, or is it just all trader statistics?
Yeah, it's also a mental. These days I'm not doing that. I gotta be honest.
Mm.
But take me back 5 years ago, six, seven. I did that many years. Because what you want to do on the mental side, first of all, start how you feel. Just ask yourself, how do you feel? Not even on that trade, even before that. Like, what happened during the day? Here in Tel Aviv, we start trading at 4:30 p.m. Right, so we already have like the morning and noon. So how do you feel when you sit in front of a computer and start trading? So did you have a good day before that? Did you fight with anyone, or you enjoyed your lunch? Did you have a good sleep before that, a day before? Just being aware of your state of mind, right? Because a lot of the changes, or generally speaking, when you want to do any type of change in your behavior, for example, you got to first of all be aware of that, right? Acknowledge that. So the same concept applies here. If you will know how you feel before you sit in front of a computer and start trading, then you can start seeing the patterns. So every time that I'm losing money, I'm super tired, or I'm very angry, or whatever it is, right? And every time I'm making money, or at least have a good trading day, it's after a good night's sleep, or after I ate perfectly a good meal, or exercised before, whatever it is. Once you realize that there is a pattern in your mental side as well, then you can start shifting it, changing it, improving it, tweak it, whatever you want to do. So you just write yourself, how do you feel before the trading session begin? Also during the trading session, before you enter the trade, did you feel confidence of clicking the mouse key, or your hands were shaking, right? um, how did you feel during the trading? Did you manage it out of fear, or out of technical and logical aspect? And also afterwards as well. So you just journalize it, the same on the technical level, the same you will do on the mental side as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And that fear us that sticks with me. Michael, when you talk about trading at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. At the end of the day, I can't imagine what that must be like. Of course, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm lucky I get to trade 9:30. It's a lot easier for me. Have you always traded at 4:30 p.m.?
Yeah, yeah, maybe once or twice I had a chance to trade at 9:30. I lived in the States back in '08, I guess, and I had just a tiny
What a
bit of,
year.
yeah, yeah, a long time ago. And so I had the opportunity to start just trying a little bit of the 9:30 hours, but basically in most cases it's either 4:30, or if I'm going on vacation, it could be 2:30, like 2 hours if it's Europe or stuff like that. Yeah, I would love to try to trade like really consistently at 9:30, maybe in Orlando.
Maybe in Orlando, my friend.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Because for me, and for a lot of traders here in the States, it's easier for us to get into a good state of mind for trading if we're trading first thing, right? So I wake up rather early to do the live streams and everything for all of our traders out in London. I do that at say 5 a.m. my time, but after that, I can spend a lot of time in peace and quiet, and like you were saying, really balance things in order to get ready for the 9:30 open and go from there. For we have a lot of international traders in a situation like you where they may have a 9 to 5 or a regular job, and then they're going and they're trading at 4:30 after going through so much during their regular day. What advice do you have for those kinds of traders that are, say, they're trying to get an account at Tradethepool and they're trading at 4:30 even though they've had this kind of long tiring day?
Yeah, it's kind of rough on one hand. On the other hand, they have, they work, now they're free to actually focus on trading, comparing
Mm,
to someone in the States that, is working while he's trading, right? Because he
mhm.
starts work at 9:30 or 9 or 8, and then he try to balance it with the trading part. So on one hand, you usually become a bit more tired because it's already afternoon, and obviously a good exercise before that just to pump up the blood could actually work. Coffee usually do the work as well, right?
Right.
Um, and and but I guess the most important part will be just to focus on 2 hours of the day. A lot of traders try to trade the 6.5 hours, but your brain cannot really cope with that. It can't stay focused the whole time for 6.5 hours. And trading, definitely when it comes to day trading, uh, you got to be 100% in the zone, right, to make the right decision. So basically, just find those 2 hours that you feel very focused and you can produce as much as you can from yourself, right? It could be from 4:30 to 6:30. It could be even in lunchtime, the middle of the day, or the last 2 hours of the day. But just find those 2 hours that you sit, you focus, you don't have any interruptions around you, kids, wife, whatever it is. Just leave everything aside for 2 hours, be fully focused, and that will be the best outcome that you can actually get. You know.
I hear you, my friend. And so for the exercise, did you guys like have a climbing wall installed in the office in Tel
I
Aviv? Is
wish.
that what you do before, or?
No, I wish. I wish. I mean, it just jumping jacks, jumping jack, right? Just something like that.
I hear you. It sounds like a great strategy, but that's really amazing to think about. And so you really just focus on 2 hours in order to get the best possible situation for your trading. So I imagine are you doing a lot more day trading, or are you seeing a lot more success for day traders in Trade the Pool or swing trading?
Yeah. So first of all, in Tradethepool, we are like 4 days away from launching swing trading as well. So overnight will be available at Tradethepool probably when you guys at home seeing this video. So we're super excited about it. Still working on tiny stuff just to finish everything, but I guess in the next 4 days we will finish, and that will be an amazing opportunity for all guys that actually doing overnight trading, basically swing traders. What I'm doing is mostly focusing on day trading. That's basically what I did from the get go. And I do also a little bit of swing trading and futures as well, like the S&P and the Nasdaq. But besides that, mostly focusing on day trading stocks. Yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. There's so much volatility going on, and there are
Yeah.
so many events and opportunities that cause these really great potential opportunities in other markets. So in that case, you're not only trading equities, but you're also trading futures. That's how many products are you keeping track of at a time?
I mean, again, today, because I'm a bit more busy than before, then I just have, like four stocks, four symbols, and just the S&P and the Nasdaq. But a few years ago, I could easily follow like 20, even 30 symbols at a time. Just a lot of screens, a lot of small charts, just waiting for the right moment. Either a reversal, pullback, whatever it is, just waiting for that asset to reach my level and then execute.
I hear you. That's so much work on the mental capital. I don't blame you. I do the exact same thing in my own trading, where I mostly trade futures. So I only trade the S&P, the Nasdaq, and crude oil,
Okay.
because I don't think the mental capacity to do any more when you're doing more
Yeah.
than just trading. It isn't there. So I don't blame you for doing that. So does that mean that you have a lot of pre-work that you're doing beforehand to kind of find these four symbols? How do you select these four symbols to make sure your mental capital is where it needs to be for the rest of the things you're doing during the day?
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, first of all, at least for the last year or so, I'm mostly focusing on big cap, Tesla, Nvidia, and the Qs. Those are my main. But sometimes I like to play around with hot stocks, just gappers up and down. But I do go through a long process of pre-market prep, which I'll find. Obviously, I'll go just analyze the market, the Nasdaq and the S&P and the VIX, just to understand where it should go or what to expect in the like a bigger picture of a hourly or a 4 hour chart. And then I'll find through the scanners just gappers, gainers, losers, lots of volume, news that pushing the stock, right? What's the catalyst behind it? How much net change or percentage change it did from last night, and then I go to our hourly chart and just mark the supply and demand areas, right? So I'm just waiting for it, and this is probably one of the best things, like technical wise, that I can recommend, especially for new traders. You just try to build the scenarios and not just look at the chart and make a decision, right? So, for example, if I take a chart, analyze it before the market open, analyze it, and place my supply and demand areas on the chart, I create, like, really drawing on the chart what I want to see, right? For example, reaching resistance level, try to break it, then go short, or drop into support level, didn't break the support, go long. Like those scenarios or those drawing I'm doing before the market opens. And once I see after the market opens, I see that the scenario is occurring, right? The stock did drop to the level that I marked and not breaking down. Now I can easily mentally, specifically mentally, I can execute the trade because I know that this is exactly what I wanted to see. So it's much easier for me to click the mouse key and not think it over many, many times and maybe miss that trade. Does that make sense?
Michael, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that when the market opens here, as soon as we're done here. I've never actually drawn what I want to see before trading it. I always think, okay, I want this to break through resistance and then come back and retest, but I've never physically drawn that.
Yeah. That,
That sounds like an awesome key for success.
it's amazingly, you will see how amazingly it works, and then it's also build your confidence, right? Because you draw, I did it from so many years. I draw the chart, I see it goes exactly the way I planned it, so now I know that I actually know what I'm doing, so now I need to execute it, right? So over and over again, and it just stick to you.
That is brilliant. And what a place to end, Mike. That's such a great idea. Thank you so much, my friend. I know that you're incredibly busy with Trade the Pool, and I'm so excited to see where it continually goes. Traders, thank you so much for joining us here on Trade Delicious. If you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, if you learned something, please leave a comment below, subscribe for more details, and click that notification bell so you can get more of this incredible content we're producing to make you a better trader. As always, we thank you so much for joining us. Please trade well today and trade delicious. We'll see you.
Take care, guys.